Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Get your headphones, get set for thrill. DeaconLive's calling, turn up your will. Follow news popping, stories you missed. From the past week, baby, it's a news blitz. DeaconLive's the ride. Social media guide. Articles worldwide. DeaconLive won't hide.
Welcome back, guys. Oops. Am I there? Yeah. Welcome back, guys, on today's show. Oh, God, that sounds horrible. Jesus. Welcome back, guys, on today's show. Are flight tickets cheaper at the desk? And are you saying goodbye? Are we saying goodbye to fast food chains altogether? And I got to start this over. My fucking music's driving me. It's beating my brain insane there. Let's see. Can I do that? There, that sounds a little bit better. So let's start that again. Welcome back, guys, on today's show. Are flight tickets cheaper at the desk? And are we saying goodbye to the fast food chains altogether? And why do you, what do you do when you see an orange and an apple together? And why this woman wants to quit only being on the job for 6 months? All this and much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive as we comb through your social news feeds and get you up to date on viral stories and stuff you might have missed over the last 7 days or so, and all done in 60 minutes. So, as you can tell, I'm a little rusty, trying to get things back together here. I just got back from Alaska, and boy, are my feet frozen. No, I'm kidding. A bad joke there. Welcome back to DeaconLive. I hope you are doing all right. That's the main thing. I hope everyone's getting along. I hope everyone's having a good time. As you guys may have not known or whatever, I have taken, my wife and I went to Vancouver for 3 days. We flew up to, we went from Orlando, listen to me. What state do I live in? We went from Charlotte Douglas to Chicago, sat there for about an hour and a half, jumped on a plane, went all the way to Vancouver, hung out in Vancouver for about 3 days, and then saw the town, saw all the sights, did some medical stuff, you know what I mean? Wink, wink. And also, at the end of our 3 days, we were boarding a cruise liner that was going to take us all the way through Alaska and all the different channels and all that stuff. I'll dive into the whole Alaska trip if you want to listen to that over on another podcast that I do. This is 50, which is, if you're watching this on the YouTube video, that's it right there. And I'll describe all the shenanigans and stuff that happened on the cruise liner, but this is not that type of show. This show here is all about news feeds, social events, and viral stories that you might have missed over the last 7 days. But I want to start off by telling you that once we got back from the cruise, it came into port. We were out on sea for 7 days, came back into the port, and it got into the port at 7 a.m. Everyone had to be off the ship by 9:30. I know that sounds really, really early. It's worse than hotel checkouts. But we had our luggage. We picked the latest time to get off the ship because our flight that same day was not till 10:30 at night. When I say 10:30 at night, Vancouver time. So if you're on the West Coast, that's fine. If you're on the East Coast, that's 3 hours behind. You know, there's a time space continuum there that I can't figure out. But anyways, so once we got physically kicked off the boat, you know, everyone's got to be off the boat by 9:30. All right, so they've already got our luggage. We got tags on them. They picked them up outside of our rooms. They put them in a little big old airplane hangar. We go pick up our luggage. And now we're lost in Vancouver till, you know, by the time we got off the boat, it was like 10 o'clock. We did have breakfast. They did serve breakfast on the boat before we got off. And so now we're in Vancouver. We have no hotel. We have no plan of attack. We've got these two huge suitcases. You know, we've been on the road now for 10 days. So we've got a huge suitcase that weighs, now that I know this now, it's 70 pounds. The other one was like 65 or 55 pounds. And we're literally just sitting on a park bench. in downtown Vancouver and sitting there going, okay, 10 o'clock. Our plane doesn't leave until 10:30 at night. We've got 12 hours, little less than 12 hours to kill. So what do we do? So we kind of walked around the town. We found that there was a hotel right next to the port that would hold our luggage for $10 each a day for the day. Great. Paid them $20. Here's the thing. Here's the funny part. Canadian money. How much is it? Oh, it's $10 a day. All right. We don't have any Canadian money. And I said, do you take U.S. currency? And they go, yes, we prefer U.S. currency because the Canadian dollar is one for every $1, it's 75 cents of ours. And so they get a little bump, a little tip. All right, I don't care. Just let's hold our bags. So my wife and I were walking around the town. One thing that they did have in Vancouver, which is great. I don't know why we don't do this in the United States as much. I know New York is based on subway system and rail systems and things of that nature to get people around. They had a train that went from the port all the way to the airport. I said, well, how much is the day pass? How much is it to get to the airport? $11. You can ride as much as you want. So my wife and I bought a ticket for each of us, $22, and we rode the train to the airport just to see how long it would take and get a familiarity out of it. Went to the airport, said, okay, we've done that. 26 minutes there, 26 minutes back, and now we've killed another hour, probably an hour and a half by the time we got the ticket and stuff. All right, let's get some, now it's 12 o'clock, let's get some lunch. So we go get some lunch at A&W. Here's the thing about A&W. I remember growing up, A&W used to serve root beer floats. The first thing I said when we walked in there, my wife goes, I want a hamburger, I want fries, and we both go, and a root beer float. Oh, I'm sorry, they discontinued the root beer float in 1998. We're like, God, has it been that long since we've been to an A&W? All right, well, we'll just have the hamburgers. And they got weird names like Uncle Billy Buster's, Belly Busters. Nothing sounds good when you go to A&W. Nothing sounds like you should be eating it. Oh, this is Uncle Frank's Heart Attack Diner, fries, grilled cheese, pretzel or something. It's none of the names sound good if you're drunk and hungover, but just a normal everyday food, no, it doesn't sound great. So we had a hamburger, and we literally sat in A&W, the restaurant, for 2 hours. Then we walked along the boardwalk next to the cruise line, another 2 hours. 2 hours here, 2 hours there. Finally, we're like going, okay, we need to at least make our way to the airport. Maybe we can hang out in the airport. So at 5 o'clock, now remind you, our plane doesn't, load or take off until 10:30 at night. So now it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. My wife, her ankle's not very good. She rolled her ankle, so it's sprained. This is a wound that she's had for the last couple weeks prior to going on the cruise. And so you have to be careful, walking as much and toting a backpack and yada, yada, yada. So we get on the train because we've done it before. And we get on the train, we go to the airport. Great, we're at the airport. Whew! We go in to check our luggage. We can't check our luggage in till 3 hours prior to boarding. So we're there at 5:30. Oh, shit. Now we got to carry these things around the airport. Thank God they had a hotel when we got off the boat to hold it, but they have nothing at the airport to where we can hold them. So my wife and I are sitting in this food court, and we're like, are you hungry? I'm hungry. We need to eat. We need to eat something. I don't want to eat a whole lot. I've told you stories that my body can only hold one meal in my system at any given time. So if I eat, something's going to happen the other way. One goes in, one goes out. I know I'm being real descriptive there. So I ate a little bit. And then, of course, we got like crackers and snacks and things, pretzels and peanuts and stuff on an airplane. Yeah. My son, he's going to die. So it gets close to 3 hours prior to boarding. So we go and let's check our luggage in. Now we go down to the gate. Now the gate has got at least 200 people in front of this gate. I'm like, God damn it. When we walked in, it was like a ghost town, tumbleweeds, are going by. Polar bears are waving us going, "Hi, Travis, hi." Or, "Hey, Mr. Polar Bear." Now we got this whole big old line and nobody can figure out how to use the kiosks, and how the lady's like, "Do you have because she's British of some sort. Do you have your luggage tags? Do you have your luggage tags? Have you checked in? Yes, we checked in. We paid for the extra, but do you have the luggage tags? No, they'll print them when we get to the desk there. No, you have to, and start a swarm there. No, you have to print them out at the kiosk and put them on your thing and then go up to the desk. I'm like, no, you don't. And my wife's like, just do it. This is fucking ridiculous. And normally she doesn't cuss. She doesn't get upset. But when she gets upset, she's like, this is fucking stupid. This is fucking ridiculous. So I said, babe, I'll just hold the place in line. Go get the tickets. Go get the luggage tags. And meanwhile, we created this chain reaction of everyone in line doesn't have their luggage tags. They get the luggage tags, or everyone's sticking them on wrong. They're sticking them on, upside down, up, and they're ripping them off and putting them back on. Just a whole clusterfuck in the whole entire thing. We've been up since 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's now coming close to the 7 o'clock hour. 12 hours we've been up. So we get to the gate, find out where the gate's at, and we sit there, and there's no restaurants open. There's nothing. It's 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, and we're sitting there and eating crackers, drinking water. Get on the plane. We board the plane at 9:55. Our flight, like I said, was at 10:30. They start boarding. It takes 20 minutes to get everyone on board. So we take off. Everyone's on board. Everyone takes off. Whew, thank you. We land in Washington, D.C., Dulles Airport. We land. My wife and I had a brilliant idea that the flight from Vancouver to Dallas was 4.5 hours. If we could fall asleep on that flight, we'll be okay. Because now we've transferred ourselves 3 hours into the future, and we landed in Dulles Airport at 3 o'clock in the morning. So 4-hour flight minus 3 hours. You can do the math there. We sat there for about an hour, maybe an hour, got on another flight, came back home. 2-hour flight coming back home. My wife could not get any sleep at all. Landed in Charlotte Douglas Airport on Sunday now. This was Saturday. Sunday at 9:45 in the morning. We have not slept since Saturday at 7 o'clock Vancouver time, and now it's Sunday morning, 9:45. We're still awake. Eyes barely open. And I'll tell you exactly the effects of jet lag when we come back. So stick around. I'll dive in that story. You're listening to DeaconLive right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to DeaconLive. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and don't forget, for every podcast that we do here, has a matching video over on YouTube. Yes, we do have our own very own YouTube channel. It's the DeaconLive podcast. Search for that. You can see what goes on here in the studios, and we also have a more of a visual aspect. If you want to see stories and stuff that we're talking about here on the program, you can follow along with us on your YouTube channel. Just subscribe over there. I don't care if you like. I don't care if you hit the bell or all that stuff. It just gives you guys another venue, another outsource that you can enjoy the family, which is DeaconLive. And we got a bunch of different videos and stuff that we'll be talking about here on the show. So to see those in real time as we're talking about them, go on over to YouTube. Just subscribe over there. I'm not doing it for any kind of money or anything over there. Like I said, it's just another venue. Now, speaking of venues, we land in Charlotte Douglas at 9:45. We get on the tram to go out to the long-term parking lot. We get on our car. We come home. All right. So we have been up. Let me give you a recap of everything. Saturday morning, Vancouver time. We got up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Got off the boat at 9:30. Our flight in Vancouver time was not till 10:30 at night. We get on that flight. We fly 5 hours towards Washington, D.C., gain 3 hours. Actually, we lose add 3 hours to that somewhere because we're going forward in time. Landed in D.C., had an hour layover, got on that plane. It was a 2-hour flight to Charlotte Douglas, and we land Charlotte Douglas at 9:45 Sunday morning. So you got your little pie graph out, your little sketch chart that you're going there. That's where we're at. So we get home, and my wife and I stopped and got Papa John's pizza. So good. It was so good because we haven't eaten all fucking day. Nothing but crackers and Cheez-Its and all this other garbage crap. So we get home, eat Papa John's. I got halfway through the Papa John's. I'm like going, do you want to watch a movie or something? You know, it's now 11, almost 12 o'clock regular time. Now we're back on track. My wife goes, I think I'm just going to take a little nap. Okay. So I'll play my video games. So I'm sitting there on the PlayStation. She's sitting over the chair on the right-hand side of me. And all of a sudden I hear, I look over. She is out. I'm like, good for her. You know, it's been a long day for both of us. She's the one who kind of drifts off first. Fine. Let her go drift off. As I'm watching her, I'm playing the game. In my eyes, if you're watching me on the video here, I'm like, well, I'm sort of, you know, dozing off. I feel like one of those heroin addicts just coming way down too fast. You know, your head bobs up and down. They call that, you know, S in the D. You know, oh, look at that guy, it's in the D, you know, because he's on drugs and stuff. But no. So I literally stopped the PlayStation game and I kind of laid in the chair and I fell asleep. I am not one for sleeping in a chair. I've never been able to sleep in a chair. I envy those old guys, maybe when I get to that age. Old people or just people in general that can just sit in a chair and just go, just snooze, just out. I have to physically be in my comfort zone laying on a bed or something like that. So the effects of jet lag, I could not keep my eyes open. It's the worst feeling, and I could not get caught up. Now, we landed on Sunday. Today's Wednesday. We do this show every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm still sleeping till almost 10:30 in the morning, which normally it's not like me. I get up at 7:30, but still. So now, hopefully, my wife and I are back on track. This is day number 4 of having jet lag. And jet lag, it's no joke. You just can't keep your eyes, you're sleep deprived. So that was a brief synopsis of our trip and the jet lag and everything. And I'll discuss the whole entire trip over on the This Is 50 podcast, which is a little bit more gross. It's a little bit more in-depth as far as if you're over the age of 50 and you want to know about things, if we're all on the same level, check that out. That's This Is 50 podcast that I do every Friday at 1 o'clock. All right, so enough about me. Let's talk about fast food. Now, I said that, you know, my wife and I went into, what was it? A&W hamburger joint. I think it says home of hamburger family. It's kind of a weird title. Up on the home of the hamburger family. All right. So we had Billy Bob's gut-busting double burger. And my wife had some kind of fish sandwich. She said it wasn't very good. But, you know, there's a reason why A&W is not all over the place. Now, this story right here is fast food becoming a luxury. I'm going to say in the next, if we keep going on the path that we're at right now, you're going to see a lot of places folding up. Now, the one mega giant right now is McDonald's. And right now, McDonald's might exit California as 80% of Americans struggle to afford fast food. You would think, you know, McDonald's would do very well. The new minimum wage pressures restaurants. In the response of California's new wage law, raising the hourly pay to over $20 an hour starting this past April, fast food restaurants across the state have significantly increased their menu prices. Boop. McDonald's right now is considering leaving California altogether. Amongst these adjustments, California is reportedly considered a drastic measure in exiting the California market altogether. So now they're going to be like one of those, what is it, like In-N-Out Burger, where they only distribute, you know, or they're only located in certain areas. White Castle's kind of the same way. You're going to start seeing McDonald's doing the same thing. 80% find fast foods unaffordable right now. The new legislation in California, where the prices are already too steep for people, the shocking 80% of Californians now report that fast food is beyond their budget. Despite this, instead of reducing prices, there are talk of McDonald's potentially leaving the market altogether. I think I said that 3 times already, but I'll say it one more time as long as it's written in this article. Previously, fast food prices in the United States, particularly California, has reached an it's gotten high. Let's put it that way. Over the past decade, menu prices have skyrocketed to over 100%. Today's the Big Mac meal could set you back as much as $18. A quarter pounder with cheese meal at $11.99, and an Egg McMuffin meal is almost $7.29 in most states. So, is fast food becoming a luxury? Other chains like Five Guys, Taco Bell, and Burger King also have significant increases in their prices in recent years. However, the situation escalated further when McDonald's announced an impending price hike on April 2024, coinciding with the new minimum wage law, increasing it from 20 to 25, a 25% jump in labor costs. So McDonald's right now has a very tough decision to make. With over 70,000 employees and 1,300 locations in California alone, McDonald's faces a higher labor cost, which claim them to leave two difficult choices: raise the prices in the future or cut jobs. Both scenarios could be a challenge within the American economy, making fast food unaffordable and many potential leading to the increase of unemployment. So here we go, people. Listen up, come around, bring the kiddies around too. You know, we said for so long that, is that a good light for me? I don't know. We've said for so long that minimum wage jobs, well, I say we, those people, that minimum wage jobs are entry-level jobs. No, we need to make a living on it. This should be our career job. We should make a lot of money doing that, or a lot of money, or a substantial living wage. Okay, you got it. Well, guess what? Now, your food prices are not substantial to people who don't make a living wage. Their fast food was set up, $1 for a hamburger. At the time I think it was 10 cents for French fries when McDonald's came out or something like that. But now you have kind of contradicted yourself. You shot yourself in the goddamn foot is what happened. I want to pay $2 for a hamburger, but I want to make $20 an hour. It doesn't work that way. And you're now starting to see the results of that. And people, are they still teaching economics in class, in school, anywhere? They should start it at the elementary level. All right, Timmy, if I give you 3 apples and you have to pay Hector over there 2 apples to make sure that he picks 5 apples, at the end of the day, how many apples do you have? I don't know. I just want to play on the slide. I want to play with my slingshot. I don't know, but that's what's happening. Another restaurant right now is almost going under as well. Now, the term casual dining is kind of, it's one of those TGI Fridays, and they're starting to see a little bit of a bump because think about it. If you're going to pay $30, $40 for a meal at McDonald's, and you go into a casual dining place, I'm going to talk about Applebee's here in just one sec, and for $6, $7, $8 more to your bill, maybe, and add a little tip on top of that, and you get a better quality meal, better service, a better type experience. I think the long term, the short term, is you're going to see that the TGI Fridays and Applebee's and stuff like that are going to be the ones that are going to take over those thresholds. I'm not paying, $18 for a shitty hamburger when I can pay $18 and have somewhat of a good hamburger, real beef, real meat, cooked on order. Now, what's his name? Now, this legendary Applebee's franchisee says Americans are abandoning fast food as well. He explains that he was running for his life due to the payroll and food costs as well. So, let's see. So, for more on this, we're going to go to CNBC. And we're going to talk to one of the biggest franchisees that owns Applebee's, and let's hear what he has to say about all this. So don't forget, for every podcast we do, I have a matching video, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. Make sure I've got all the cameras up and running, and we're all on the same page, and we can all be friends. So here we go. And let's unmute Judy Chang here. So here we go. Oh. I got to go through a commercial. All right. Back to camera 4, and we can see this in real time. Here we go.
Franchisee warns inflation is pushing the rest.
Oh, skip ad in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Restaurant industry to the brink. Zane Tankel is the chairman and CEO of Apple Metro. One of his restaurants is the Applebee's right here in Times Square. So Zane is our neighbor. Zane, great to have you with
Melissa.
us.
Thank you. I'm used to seeing you New Year's Eve.
Yes, exactly. That's when you're usually on. What are you finding with your consumer these days? Are they really pushing back at this point on higher prices?
Yeah, the consumer is still left over with a bunch of overhang from that COVID money. We keep talking COVID, but they were saving. There was no place to spend it. So now they're running out. They're running out of gas. Here's where the collision happens, Melissa. Costs continue, core costs continue to rise. We read about California, $20 an hour all over. It's only a matter of time before the mayor here says, hey, the way to get reelected is raise salaries, wages. And then along with that comes gas prices. Everything in our space is delivered by truck. Everything, regardless of where you are, fast food, quick serve, casual dining, trucks deliver it. The trucker isn't going to absorb that, nor will the grower, nor will the slaughterhouse. Right. That's passed on. So the collision comes where the consumer says, hey, I've had enough, along with rising costs, which look like core inflation doesn't go away so quickly. Service inflation is reducing a little bit, buying services.
Nope. Skip the ad.
However, the offset to that, it's not all doomsday, is the consumer, it seems like he or she is very willing to pay for convenience. Why do we pay $10 in a movie for popcorn that you could buy in a grocery store for 50 cents?
Whoosh.
Because you can go up and get the popcorn and come back. And the consumer has gotten used to not cooking. They don't cook. When the divergence happens strongly enough between grocery prices and our prices, that's when the collision will happen. Right now, grocery prices are still pretty strong. Exactly. Right. You know well, you go to the grocery store. We all do. And as a result, the divergence hasn't hit. But it will, because we continue to have $20 an hour at labor. We continue to have, virtually everything is rising on core, except maybe rents in certain locations. But great sites, great,
Whoosh.
Still very high.
So let's go through some of your costs in terms of the costs that will not come down, because I would imagine a lot of food costs will eventually come down or return to some sort of normalcy. But labor, do you think that will ever come down, or does that stay high?
No.
Would you take a cut?
Benefits? No.
No.
Of course. Nor will our dishwasher. Nor will our server, nor will anybody. Once you get there, there's no coming back.
Too late.
Other than quitting and looking for something else. And if you quit and look for something, you have the same problem. So wages don't come down. Maybe proteins will. Slaughterhouses, the cattle stock, chicken. You know, it all depends on what that grower season is about. Maybe that might, but I don't know. Gasoline. They deliver all this stuff by tractor trailer. We get a 60-foot trailer that comes right over here, if you can imagine.
Block traffic.
And we block traffic.
All right, there, Lucy. Let's not make fun of the guy for blocking traffic out there. But I mean, that's what's happening. That's exactly. So what can we control? We can control gas prices. That we can start there if we can lower the gas price. And you know, like he said, the truckers aren't absorbing that. The distributors aren't going to absorb that price. They're just going to pass on that rise, that rate hike to you. And then you've got to figure out, okay, you know, this is what it costs for me to do business. This is what it costs for me to stay in business. How do you do that? So I don't mean to get all deep and everything on you in the first segment of the show and being back from Alaska and stuff, but we'll dive into the crazy, silly stuff that's happened over the last 14 days because I took last week off. All right, guys, stick around. We got a lot more to talk about, lot more to get into. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. We back on Mina? Okay. Oh, it's been so long. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we will give you something for free, but you have to do something for me. I didn't mean to rhyme, but that's the way it is. Right on time. Oh, God. What you have to do for me, lost my train of thought. What you have to do for me is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. I'm going to only spell it once. If you missed it, rewind the tape and you can go back to it. Go to prophetradio.com. At the very top of the page says free swag. Click on that little icon. You can see all the different shows that are broadcast out of this studio, and get yourself a little free swag, and make sure you show them some support over there as well. All the different podcasts that are come out of this studio. Great programming, a lot of information on a lot of entertaining shows, and a lot of information on those other podcasts that come out of the studio, as well as this one as well. And we'd love to hear from you. You can be podcast famous while you're over at the Prophet Radio website. At the bottom of the page says be heard. If you've got a device with a microphone on it, you can be anonymous if you want. That we don't care. Talk right into it. You can be on the Deacon Live show right alongside of me here in the studio. Speak right into your device. Tell us how you feel. Tell us what you're thinking. If you have any complaints or anything like that, well, we'll play those as well. But hopefully you have questions for us, and we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and we broadcast just outside of the Charlotte Douglas area. Now that I got the formalities out of the way, this time of year, right now, it's middle of June, second week of June, and we have graduations and everything like that. And, your Facebook feed gets filled with all the graduations and, throwing the cap and gowns in the air. Well, this dad right here was not too happy about his daughter shaking the hands of like the vice president or the principal, the vice principal, and a couple of the deans at this school. And it all went viral. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I'm going to dive into what actually happened, because the media has got this shit blown out of proportion as far as what actually happened. They tried to make it one thing, and it's so stupid. It's sickening what they actually tried to make this story at. So let's start with actually what the media is feeding us right now. So a dad rushes a graduation stage to stop the superintendent from shaking his daughter's hand. A dad has faced backlash over shoving the superintendent out of the way so he couldn't shake his daughter's hand during her high school graduation. Footage of the shocking incidents, which took place on May 31st at Barabo High School in Wisconsin, shows a young woman collecting her diploma and shaking hands with the educators. Once the woman approached the superintendent, Rainey Briggs, her dad, Matthew Eddy, jumped up on stage and grabbed Briggs by the arm and dragged him away from his daughter. "That's my daughter," he says, outraged. "You better get off me," Briggs said. And then both of them got off camera. This was all being live fed, so like people all over, family and friends that couldn't be at the graduation could go to the website and watch this as well. School officials, including the Barabo, I'm gonna get this wrong every time. Baraboo. Barabo police officers intervened, according to the news outlet. The clip went viral on social media and led to many community members condemning the father, saying that he acted in a racial motivated way. Briggs, who is a black man, and Eddie, who is last name's Eddie, right? Yeah. Briggs is a black man, and Eddie, his last name, is a white man. So automatically they put the two together and say, "Oh, this is racist." The Barabo School District spokesperson Haley Wagner addressed the incidents with the news outlet, revealing that she had referred to a disorderly conduct charge for Eddie, the father, to the Sauk County District Attorney's Office. "We would like to emphasize that the safety and well-being of our students and staff and community members is top priority," Wagner says. The father stated to the police interview, which emerged on social media this week, that the superintendent initiated the physical contact and claimed that the video of the graduation disproves this contact. He also spoke about the school excluding his daughter and blaming officials. However, the father, who is white, only targeted one black administrator among the several on stage, leading many of them to believe that this was race was a factor in this confrontation. So let's go to the actual video and see what happened. So don't forget, for every podcast we do have a matching video, and we can all see this in real time as we're talking about here on the show. So here we go. Here's the video of the ceremony that actually happened. Hopefully it'll play.
Reliable.
Of course, commercial. All right, skip out. So here we go. So you can see the father right in the beginning. You can see the father walk up. He's a white guy. He's got a white shirt on, white hat, and he's got his, Oakleys on top of his hat. And he grabs Briggs, who's one of the administrators of the school, by the arm and said, "Hey, you're not touching my daughter."
Oh, you're not. Excuse me. Where's Brendan?
Dude, you better get off me, bro.
No, don't.
You better get off me, bro.
What should have been a handshake and a smile turned to pushing and shoving. At Baraboo High School's May 31st graduation. This video broadcast online and on TV.
This one white woman in the middle is like going, "Oh my God, I can't believe this. This never happens in our school. We are in Wisconsin. we are primarily a white school." And it is. I looked at the facts or the stats and everything. It's 90% white. So they said, okay, automatically this dad went to the black guy and said, "You're not touching my daughter," which is, I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Shows Matthew Eddy, pictured here in white, push Superintendent Rainey Briggs before Briggs could shake the hand of Eddy's daughter.
Where's Brendan?
The confrontation led to a misdemeanor charge against Eddy. According to the complaint, Eddy told Superintendent Briggs he, quote, was not going to touch his expletive child.
Fucking daughter.
Superintendent Briggs told investigators he, quote, feared for his safety and, quote, felt a level of fear and anxiety that someone else was going to come after him for the rest of the graduation.
You're not. Excuse me.
Here he goes.
Where's Brendan?
Better get
Eddy
off
told
of me.
investigators he pushed the superintendent away from his daughter because he thought Briggs treated her unfairly when she got in trouble at school.
Okay.
Some online calling the behavior racist, as Briggs is black and Eddy is white. Representative Francesca Hong from Madison,
Stupid.
taking
So
to
stupid.
X, writing, quote, no one should have to endure this type of gross and racist conduct. The district,
Stupid.
in a statement, not addressing the accusations of racism, but saying it is, quote, taking this incident very seriously and working closely with local law enforcement to ensure a thorough investigation.
So let's go back to me now. Go back to me. Let's back out of this. I know I'm doing 15 things at once here. So I don't know if you caught that or not, but what happened was, so yes, it's a primarily white school, 90% white. And the father said, "You're not going to shake my daughter's hand. Nope, you're not going to touch her. You're not going to do anything to her." And what we don't know, but briefly was described, was the daughter must have gotten in trouble at school. Maybe something happened. Maybe she was like third incident as far as her being part of something that went wrong. And this administrator, Rainey Briggs, probably handled the situation wrong. And I don't know if race at that point was part of it, but he obviously did something wrong towards his daughter. Whether he was black, he was white, whether he was Indian, he was, Samoan, I don't care. He did something wrong to his daughter. So the dad did not appreciate what this administrator did, Rainey Briggs, and says, no, you're not going to congratulate my daughter if you've done something that I don't agree with. You're not going to congratulate her. I'm sure they probably, the dad looks like he's the one who wants to take care of business, stomping and screaming and, this is not right and yada, yada, my daughter's perfect girl and you handled the situation wrong. That's it. It had nothing to deal with him for the most part being a black person. It's the way he addressed something with his daughter that his dad or the dad did not agree with. It had nothing to do with race. So the sad part, the first thing in the article when we just listened to it said, Rainey Rainey Briggs was the black man, and a white father came up there, and all of a sudden, boom, it's racist. It's racist. No, it's not. It's two men that have an argument. It's kind of like we don't know exactly why Marcellus Wallace threw what's his name out the window. If you're going back on that history note there. But I mean, I know that's a far stretch. God, that's a far stretch. The only thing that we know is they are the only two that know each other as far as what happened and stuff. Outside of that, just because it's a white guy going to a black guy, what if it was reverse? Black guy going to a white guy. Still racist? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe so. But don't read into it. Just don't read into it. Now, something you don't want to read into is, have you ever seen, you ready for this? There's so many trends and stuff that you see on like TikTok and Facebook and all that stuff. Facebook has gotten away from it a little bit. Thank God. They're doing some kind of flushing as far as, what's real and what's not real. But they have taken away a lot of different stuff. Like they took away the news feed in itself. So you can't really find a news feed. You have to go rely on your news sources. So if you like ABC News, make sure you like ABC News and you'll find all those feeds in your news feed or in your timeline and stuff. But right now, what they're saying is in Bakersfield, California, is warning if you stop at your local gas pump, be on the lookout for this new trend. There are plenty of strange warnings that have gone out over social media. And what camera am I on, by the way, before I continue here? Gone out over social media. What to do if you see cheese on your car, or a walking mustache, or a wire on your door, or a folded dollar bill on the ground. All these different cliche things that, be careful, watch out for. But what do you do if you see an apple and an orange on your gas pump when you go to pull up to fill up with gasoline, $5, $6 a gallon? According to a guy who posted this, if you pull up to a pump with fruit on it, you are being watched by a nearby drug dealer. And if you take one of these pieces of fruit, it signals to the dealer that you want to buy a certain kind of drug. That's a little far-fetched there, but I'll keep reading the story and figure out what's going on. He will approach you, and according to the poster, if you didn't ask for a drug, then you were in a world of hurt, he says. The commenter seems to sum it up what everyone has been thinking and writing about. Also, just never eat random fruit off a gas station, by the way. Another joke, remember the last time a guy ate a strange apple? We've been paying for that for millions of years. So they're saying that if you see an apple and an orange on a gas pump, first of all, don't fucking touch it. It's nasty. But if you want drugs, so what would the apple be? Apple B. The apple would be, let's do a word analogy. Apple and an orange. So is apple heroin and orange is cocaine? I don't know. There's something in those lyrics there where they determine what you want to buy. So if you see an apple and an orange together, take a picture of it and just go, hey, look, this is real. And you can send it to us at any time. You can email me at deacon@prophetradio.com. I'd love to see those pictures. Now, something I would love to see. I am a big fan of Doritos, especially the Cool Ranch Doritos. And when I say Cool Ranch Doritos, they came out in, let's see, 85. I was certain age, and then we had a skateboard party, and I think it was like 80, 86, 87. Let's find out. Just throwing it out there. Let's find out. When did Cool Ranch Doritos come out? 86. I'm going to say, yep, nailed it. 86. Called it. Called it. And one of the best parts about when Cool Ranch Doritos first came out, because they didn't perfected that method yet, is at the bottom of the bag. I still do it to this day. My wife laughs at me. I'll take a bag of Doritos if you're watching us here on the YouTube video. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe over there. It's not a money grab. It's just another way for you to enjoy the show. I will take the Doritos bag from the top, where you open it up and you can see Doritos right here. And I will shake it. Shake. Because I want all the goodness to go to the bottom. And then I take the bag and I flip it over and I open it up and I look inside. My wife goes, is it a good bag or a bad bag? And what she means by that is all the crumbs and all the stuff, it's nice and thick with the Cool Ranch flavor. I get all the Cool Ranch flavor on all the first couple chips that I get. But this woman right here is actually disgusted of what she found in her $7 zesty or nacho cheese zesty Dorito bag. And she was like going, I can't believe this has happened to me. I paid $7 and this is what I found in my bag. So let's see. So this woman right here, let's see what her name is so I can call her out. What's her name? Oh, she doesn't want to give her name. So one user is baffled why they discovered that the bag of chips is only half of its stated weight in chips. Another claims that Lay's is filled with just air and blah, 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 blah. They have to do that to keep it fresh, by the way. So another video that's gotten 2.3 million views, TikToker Patricia, or Patricia is a belle. Oh, God, please go get a job. Shows herself with a large bag of Doritos. According to Patricia, she was eating a bag of Doritos for about 30 minutes. Put it down, girl. Put it down. When she felt something hard. I found this in there, she says, holding up a large orange mass. It's not a Dorito. I don't know what it is. It looks like a chicken tender. As the video progresses, Patricia notes that the mass is not breakable. While it's also speculating that the presence of the object in the bag could make her sick, and saying that it looks similar to a chicken tender. What's wrong with this bag? She asked. It's $7.29 for this bag. That's expensive. I don't know what this means. I mean, look at it. It looks like a chicken tender. All right, so here we go. All right, Patricia, let's hear your story, because to me, in my mind, anyone who's eaten Doritos, a connoisseur of Doritos, is you found a golden nugget. That is the golden cluster of goodness. You know, they messed up somewhere on the line. I mean, I've gotten a burnt chip now and then. I'll eat that burnt chip. I'll eat the burnt Dorito chip. It's good. It's delicious because they're rare. She found a golden nacho nugget, and she doesn't understand that some of the chips got together, had a party, fused together, and then absorbed all that nacho flavor. So I'm going to go to camera 4 so we can see poor Patricia doesn't understand how the world works. And this is what she's saying about her nacho Dorito bag. So here we go.
I'm actually disgusted. Like, I'm not even going to come on here and cap. I love Doritos. I've been eating Doritos for like the last 30 minutes. I melt cheese and eat them like little nachos. And as I was eating, I felt something hard. And tell me how I found this thing.
Yes!
This is not a Dorito. I don't know what this is.
That's awesome.
It looks like a chicken tender. I'm not sure what this is.
It literally, I mean, it is. It's smooth. It's probably as big as your palm of your hand. It's just fused chips with the nacho flavor. Eat it, girl. Eat it.
I'm not making this stuff up. Like, I know people, like, you know, who's to say that I didn't put something in there? This is real. Like, dead ass.
She's talking to us and she's got nacho Dorito dust all over her fingers.
I didn't want to come make this video. I feel bad. But what is this?
She's trying to break it.
Breakable. Like, I don't even, it looks like a chicken tender, but it's not. And you know what's crazy? As I was eating these, I was like, these chips are kind of stale. And you know what? I don't even know. Like, what if the chip makes me sick or something? As I was eating them, I'm like, they're stale. They don't taste cheesy. Like, what's wrong with this bag?
that was the master chip that got in there and stole the life out of all the other chips. Stole all the life out of all the other chips, girl.
$7.29 for this bag.
Got it.
That's expensive as is. To get a freaking, I don't know what this is. I mean, it looks like a chicken tender, but it won't even break. Maybe
Bite
it's
it.
A chicken tender. Or
Bite it.
I don't know what this is. This is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Like, do you hear this?
Yes.
What is this?
I don't know. Eat it.
I'm actually disgusted. Like,
yeah, me too. Eat it, girl. Eat it. We want to find out what it is. Cut it in half. Maybe there's a rat in there or something. But you found the golden nugget. You are eating what is rare to some species as far as the nacho cheese nugget that's found in the Dorito bag. All right, guys, when we come back, you wonder why the flight attendants meet you right there at the gangway when you come into the plane, and why they say hi to you and they kind of look at you weird and you're like going, I feel uncomfortable. Well, I've got the story of actually why they do that. So stick around. I'll dive into that story when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be heard. You want to be part of the show. If you want to be part of the Deacon Live broadcast, we'd love to hear from you. And the way you can do that kind of separates us from other podcast shows where you can actually be heard. You can be part of the show. And the way you do that is go over to profitradio.com. At the bottom of the page says, be heard, little blue bar, little blue tab. It says be heard, has a microphone. Click on that. Opens up a microphone on whatever device you're on or at. Don't worry, it's not an email grab. We just want you to be part of the show. We'd love to hear from you. I see the numbers out there. I see you out there lurking in the shadows. Come on out. We'd love to hear from you. Don't be shy. I'm not going to rip you apart. Just speak into that, and you can be anonymous if you want. Just speak right into that, into your microphone. It comes right to our inbox, and if you get it in before this week's show, you can... we'll play it on this week's podcast. If not, you'll have to wait till next week. And we broadcast every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time out of a beautiful little town called Marshville, which is just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, I got all the formalities out of the way. My wife and I just got back from an Alaska cruise. We flew from Charlotte Douglas all the way to Vancouver, hung out in Vancouver for 3 days, got on a ship. At the end of that 3 days, sailed around Alaska, back up to Canada, back to the summit, saw some glaciers, saw some icebergs, saw some whales, came back home, hung out in Vancouver for 14 hours before our flight, had jet lag coming back into Charlotte Douglas, and then we came home and we're like, oh, we are beat. We can't keep our eyes open. Jet lag is nothing to be not ashamed of. Nothing. It's scary. It's scary because I was sleepy. Because I had to drive. I'm the one who was driving home from the airport when we landed at 10 o'clock in the morning after being up for X amount of hours. It had to be at least 24 hours. I'm going to say 24 hours. And I'm driving 45 minutes to come back home. And my wife, she's snoozing, trying to keep her eyes open next to us. But yeah, I had to drive home. And it was almost like driving home drunk. It felt, whoa. Did I doze off? How long was I out? 3 seconds? Oh, shit. We're watching me here on the video here. You're sitting there driving. You're like, your head just nods just for a second, oh shit. You wake up. You're like, how long was I out that time? 4 seconds, half a second. Felt like an hour. Oh God, that woke me up. But that's what happened. Now, one of the things, when you get onto these airplanes, you always see like the stewardess. Is it the stewardess? Can we call them stewardess? The flight attendants? What are they called now? The lady on the plane. The lady and the man on the plane. And sometimes the man spells his name with a couple more S's. Hello, I'm Sam. I'm Stuart. And then you get, I'm Aisha. Bull dyke up front or something like that. I don't know. But there was a standard at some time where the flight attendants had to be a certain size, certain weight, certain height, certain look. And now they just open it up to anyone, which is great, all for fairness across the board. But some of these guys, they're big. They can't walk down the aisles while their ass hitting both sides of the aisles. I always sit in the aisle and always knocking my arm off the armrest there. Boom. Sorry. All right, Scott. Sorry, my ass is big. But when you get on the plane, they always have like in the front, when you walk into the plane, they always have like the lady on the plane, the stewardess, the flight attendant, looking at you going, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi, welcome aboard. And they look at, and you're like going, well, this is, customer service. No, it's not. They're looking for something. They're looking for something and trying to pick people apart. And I'll tell you what that is right now. Are you listening? Of course you are. So what happens is, what they're actually doing, the reason why they greet you on the plane is not just to be polite. A flight attendant has revealed several surprise reasons behind the warm welcoming of passengers as they board the flight. Let's put it that way. The most recent seasoned travelers are all too familiar with the routine of boarding planes. As they board, passengers are greeted with a full beaming smile and asked where they are to be seated. The near universal assumption that is that they are the face of the airlines and they're setting people up for a pleasant ride. But one working flight attendant has claimed that this is not the case, at least primarily not the case. They said that the reason behind this friendly greeting is to give people a once over before they take off. Now, in a now virtual TikTok, user Mrs. Miva, or Miva, could be either one. Miva, who claims to work for TUI out of Stuttgart Airport, explained that airplane staff uses the boarding process to check whether people are able to be flyers. She said in the video that she racked up over 18.7 million views, that she has to check for passengers to see if they're drunk or sick. So let's find. Where's the video at? Where's the video at? Oh, this is it right here. Oh, I've got to restart it because it's from something else. Did you know that the flight attendant greets you not only out of kindness, but to check whether you are too drunk or too sick to fly? One attendant says they look to see if you're, one, safe to fly, not intoxicated, and to see if you could help in an emergency. Another concurred by adding that the flight attendant of 8 years, or to check to see if they could be able to be an ABA, able-bodied assistant. The third was, we're also picking out good candidates for the event of emergency. Some passengers joked that they had a real chill flight attendant, while others added that they were helpful when they were in poor conditions of travel. One quipped said, my flight attendant back from Vegas must have been really chill because I was not in any condition to be on that plane. Another added, I was also severely hungover and threw up twice mid-flight. The flight attendant was so helpful, I felt so bad. So what they're doing is they're looking at you. Now, I'm sure they do this all the time, and we're just finding out now. But if they're looking over you that way, and I'm respect me now, if they're looking at you that way, what are the people on Spirit Airlines doing? Because you always hear about crazy people getting on Spirit Airlines and just causing a ruckus and fighting and all that stuff. So are they going, okay, Spirit Airlines, and the steward is sitting there with their arms crossed going, fucking go ahead. Go ahead. If you're watching me on the video, go ahead. I don't care. Go ahead. Sit where you want. You can sit in your seat, assigned seat. You guys duke it out in the back. We got one of those cages, like when a mall store is closed. We'll just roll that cage right down. You guys can fight it out in the back of the plane, and then when we land, whoever's living can get off board, can get to their destination. We'll just sweep the dead bodies off of the back or something like that, because that's the way Spirit Airlines is. If you ever flown them, Jesus Christ, what a dump. Now, this lady right here was trying to jump on a plane and trying to save the most money that you possibly can, which don't we all agree that we can try to save as much money as we possibly can, especially when it comes to flying? I know when I worked for a production company, we would charge, at the time, this was back in right after 9/11, they would wait to book our flights, and they would book them through, I don't know, Travelocity or something like that. They would book our flights less than 48 hours before we were to fly out to do an event. And they would charge the client, I'd see the invoices and stuff, they would charge the client like $800 and something. Now, granted, the ticket for me to fly wherever I was going round trip was $500 and something, but that's how the production company kind of made their money. They kind of upsell it as a turnkey. Now, this one right here thought that this TikTok video that she saw says that she's got a hack. She found out a hack in order to get cheap flights by going straight up to the desk right right before the plane takes off. So let's find out what she actually found out as far as, is this a viral hack to get cheaper airplane tickets? The lady laughed at me so hard, she says. The woman tries to buy an airplane ticket in person so it was cheaper. It fires back. The viral hack claims it's cheaper to buy an airplane ticket at the airport counter. And this TikTok users put it to the test and was surprised of the results. Flights in the U.S. can be pretty expensive. And while it's very uncommon for flights in the EU to cost less than $100, minimum rates for a single ticket one way, including all taxes, usually hover around 40 pounds and 50 pounds. A flight similar length in the United States could run $100 or so. Given just how expensive flights can be, it's understandable that travelers are looking forward to save as much money as they can on vacation. One tip that has sparked the discussion in recent memory is buying a ticket at the airport from the gate agent. In one case, the internet claims that she was able to secure a round-trip ticket for only $32. Another TikToker who stated they were an ex-airline worker affirmed that the cheapest way to buy flights was to buy them straight from the counter itself. Now, on the other hand, a user attempted to do just that and didn't go quite as what she expected. In the video with over 166,000 views, TikToker user Jasmine, going by Nicole Beauty. All right, well, that's an easy one to figure out. Recounts the experience of trying to buy tickets at the airport as she heard that it would be cheaper than buying them online. So she says, I go up there and I tell the lady I'm trying to buy some plane tickets because I heard it was cheaper here than versus online. The lady was like, that's not true. Despite this, the woman decided to search for tickets for Jasmine that she wanted. As it turned out, it would have been significantly more expensive to buy them through the agent than it would have been just to order the tickets online. She told me, all right, hold on, sister. I'll get you taken care of. She told me the price, and it was $500 more than buying it online. So let's find out what Jasmine Nicole Beauty says about her experience as far as buying a ticket straight from the counter at the point of sale as far as getting on the plane. So here we go.
It was cheaper to go in person versus online to buy your airplane ticket. I hope every time you wake up a minute before your alarm goes up. You think you got a little more time to sleep? Nah, wake your ass up. Because why you embarrassing me? What did I do to you? I go up there and I tell the little lady that I'm trying to buy some plane tickets because I heard it's cheaper here versus online. That lady was like, that's not true, but let me look into it for you. So she's typing and she's getting the places I'm going, all the things. And then I was like, and then she tells me the price and it's $500 more. $500 more. And I was like, it's way cheaper online. That lady laughed at me so hard. Like, I literally made that lady's week. And I'm just like, it's not funny, Susan.
It is Susan.
So,
it's funny as hell.
Don't believe them. It's not true. Just buy your ticket online. That is all.
That is all. Thank you very much. But, I mean, technically, if you want to think about it, think about the logisticness of it. So you got a plane. And every plane that we flew on we took 4 planes. From Charlotte to Chicago, from Chicago to Vancouver, turnaround, return flight from Vancouver to D.C., from D.C. to Charlotte. Every flight was fucking full, except for like 3 seats in the whole plane. Every flight, we actually flew those 737 MAX planes, the one that, like to go swimming all the time. But every flight was full. So think about the way they over the last, let's say, 3 years, the way plane travel or airplane travel has, we've had flights canceled because they don't have enough people to fly the planes. And now they're starting to get their shit together and they're booking completely full flights. There's no half flights anymore. But I can imagine back in the day when it was, before COVID. Let's do before COVID. I'm sure there was planes that were like at 50% capacity. And by all means, if you go up to that desk and say, hey, I'd like to have a flight. Can I have a ticket for this flight? And they're like going, oh man, we really need to sell these seats. Yes, $32. But now, that's not common anymore. These flights are completely packed because they've figured out, hey, let's get these pilots back on board. Let's get the flight attendants back on board. Let's jam these planes, to capacity. Maybe we cut out a couple flights here and there. We just won't offer as many. And then start paying premium prices. I think for my wife and I, both of us, round trip to Vancouver and back was $600 for the both of us, which isn't too bad. It's not too bad. Direct flight, I think, was like $1,400. So no. We'll take the 1 or 2 layovers. All right, when we come back, this young woman, started a job. She loves her job. It's 9 to 5. She's been there 6 months, and I can understand her gripe, her complaint, but she's ready to quit after 6 months. She's young. This is her first corporate job, and she's frustrated. But I'm going to dive into her frustration and pick it apart. Welcome to reality type deal. All right, guys, stick around. You're listening to DeaconLive right here on Let's try that again. You're listening to DeaconLive right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to DeaconLive. I know the show's running a little bit long. I promise you everything in a 60-minute show, but I've been off for a week and a half. So we're going to run the show just a little bit longer. Don't worry. Got one more little segment, and we'll let you get back to doing what you got to do. And if you'd like to be part of the show, go over to Prophet Radio. Click on Be Heard. Speak right into the device. You can be podcast famous. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Population 2,500 people. Yeehaw! What an eye-opening experience when you live in a small little town and then you fly into a large town, a large city like Vancouver. My wife had some issues with the city. And when I say that, Vancouver, you don't hear about this whole lot, but it's happening across the United States. There was not a huge homeless problem, not like you see on the news where tents after tents after tents, but there was like drug addicted people like standing on the streets and just kind of, if you're watching this on the YouTube video, the Deacon Live podcast YouTube video, I mean, they're, sitting there, and my wife had a hard time. She was like, she's never seen that in real life, in real time. And we got to one restaurant and I'm like, oh, you want a beer or something? She's like, no, I don't. And she had a real hard time dealing with that. I'm like, unfortunately, babe, this is part of a life. This is what you see on the news. And she's like, I know, but I just didn't realize how much it would affect me. Yes, it would affect anyone. When you see it on the news, oh, that's over there. That's out of state, out of mind type deal. And then when she actually saw these people walking up and down the street, barely walking up and down the street, they were doing that lean, that balance lean, that ghost lean where they're at a 90-degree angle, they're still standing up somehow. My wife had a hard time. And I'll talk about that a little bit more over on the This Is 50 podcast. It's a little bit more information as far as what goes on in everyday life for people that are, going to be 50 or up, coming up on 50 or something like that. So make sure you follow us over there as well. My first job I got was, I was 18 years old. I worked for Toys R Us. 18 years old, working for Toys R Us. And of course, been working ever since. I don't know what my wife's first job was. I remember her telling me that her first real job was being a secretary or receptionist at a mortgage broker firm. And of course, now she's, worked her way up through the ranks and, transferred from one job to another job and taken her experience from here to here to here and worked her way up. She's done very well for herself. She does a lot. She's got a lot of responsibilities and she's young. She's 10 years, 10 years younger than I am. But she does very well, and I'm very proud of her for what she does and what she's accomplished. It's hard for a female to work in this industry that she's in. I say hard. It's she's smart. She's very well respected. I don't want to say it's hard for a woman. It's just the landscape of everything. You always think, woman is this and man is this. She does very well for what she does, and she's got the respect of her elders and her associates in her field. Now, this woman right here, this is her first corporate job, and she's already having a hard time. And it says that a woman slams modern quote-unquote work culture after working a corporate job, her first corporate job from a 9 to 5 for only 6 months. Gen Z has dipped their toes into the corporate 9 to 5 lifestyle. Many of them don't want to be any part of it. Becoming a 9 to 5er isn't for everyone, so many of us feel it's evil. But this TikToker has a soul-sucking vortex. She really wants to abandon her job after just 6 months. Meet Julia Hahn, Huyna, also known as Jiggly Julie on TikTok, who has had enough of the daily grind. In this candid video, she proclaimed something needs to change about this capitalism circus and spending most of your life cooped up in an office. So here she is, and I'm going to switch over to camera 4. There she is. She's got her cat in her hand. Looks like she's got a lava lamp behind her, all right, and her closet's a mess. So let's figure out what she's got going on. All right, hold on, Julia. Let me get you full screen here so everyone can see you and we can all make fun of you. So here we go. Here's Julia. Let's go to camera 4. And she's going to tell us why she wants to leave her job after 6 months.
And it's not the fact that I don't like my job and like the people suck and like it's just horrible. It's like actually a pretty nice job. Like I love my coworkers. Like it's all around great. Like if you look at it at face value, it's great. My one thing that I hate most is the fact that it's been 6 months and I literally feel like nothing has happened in the past 6 months. I work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Actually, no, it's more like 8 to 5.
Oh, no.
And sometimes it's like 5 to 5.
No.
I'll be going through my work week, and then by the time it gets to Friday, I'm just so exhausted to the fact where like I can't do anything on the weekend anymore. Something needs to change in this like work culture because like this is not cutting it. Because I'm not gonna go through my entire life working for like 40 years and then like I wake up one day and I think about it and I'm like, wow, it's been 40 years and I've done literally nothing. The only caveat with quitting this job is that I will not have any money. So how am I supposed to live? Like what am I supposed to do? I don't understand. Anyway, that's my rant for today. See you next time.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's dissect what she says. She says that she doesn't want to work for something or somewhere for 40 years, and then at the end of the day, she's got nothing going on. All right, first of all, obviously you're working for a corporate job, so that means you've decided whatever your school, whatever your professionalism, whatever you went to school for, your education and stuff, you've chosen this job. All right. Now, granted, she's probably not an actress. She's probably not a musician. She's working for, let's say a law firm, right? So you're working for a law firm for 6 months. Dear, it takes a while to travel up the ladders. You heard what I just said about my wife. She started as a receptionist. Now, granted, she had some college experience, but her world was more of an on-field, insight, reality world experience that got her up the ladder and up the chain. This girl right here just started. It's 6 months. Dear, answer the phones a little bit more. Learn everything you can from where you're at and what you're experiencing and figure out what you want to do. Obviously, this is not your lifestyle. You don't want to work 9 to 5, 8 to 5, 5 to 5. And at the end of the week, I can't see my friends anymore. I can't see. Sorry, I hate to use a cliche. That's part of life, but you said, if I leave my job, I don't have any money anymore. You have chosen this particular work. This is your employment. If you don't like it, you either have to do one of two things. Change your perspective as far as what you want, what you need to survive. Do you need that apartment? Do you need that cat? Do you need all that stuff in your closet? Do you need to simplify yourself? Do you want to be live in a van, travel the world type deal and get murdered by your boyfriend? Or do you want to continue to grow and experience life and educate yourself and learn more and experience more and do all that stuff in the field, whatever field that you're in? So tell me what you want. No one's going to hand it to you on a silver platter. You're just starting out. It's 6 months. I know it's frustrating, but you thought you were going to be like the CEO of something in the beginning. You thought you were going to change the world in 6 months. In 6 months, no way. There's no way you can change the world in 6 months unless you've got financial money behind you, like Elon Musk and all those other guys. But, they weren't handed, $50 billion. Elon Musk started with PayPal. It was a small currency exchange system that he created, and it was small. Amazon, you've seen pictures of Amazon, Jeff Bezos sitting in the garage with a banner behind him says they were selling used books. In 6 months' time, he didn't make $1 billion. You gotta do something. You gotta put the work in. You gotta get the experience, girl. Jiggly Julie. So, she'll get over it. She'll get over it. She got a little cat there, a little tabby cat. So she'll get over it. Now, Let's get a little lighter here. Are you ready? There's a TikTok trend right now. I don't know. I've looked so hard to find out where the trend came from. It's so funny. I saw it, and it has to deal with your animals. So if you like TikTok trend videos, and if you like animals, and if you like animals that do TikTok trend videos, this is for you. I tried so hard to look for it. The only thing I could come up with, I think it was Joker the doll, was the original posting of it, but I don't know if that's true or not. I did some diving on it, and it is... Raise your hand if you want garlic breadsticks. And then if you want buffalo wings or something like that. So now's a great chance. If you're not watching this over on YouTube, join us over on YouTube for this video right here. And you can see the latest TikTok trend that's been happening out there for your animals. So I'm going to play this. I got to restart this. So here we go. Here we go.
Raise your hand if you want garlic breadsticks.
Breadsticks.
Raise your hands if you want buffalo chicken wings right now.
So what's happening is, I know. All right. So what they're doing is everyone's putting their cat or dog in front of the camera at these weird angles. And this voice, I don't know where the voice come from. Like I said, I think it was Joker the doll that started this whole thing. I might be wrong on that. If you want to prove me wrong, by all means, go to Prophet Radio and let me know by the Be Heard section. But there's these weird angles of cats and dogs, and at the bottom it says, raise your hand if you want garlic breadsticks. And then if you want buffalo chicken wings.
And if you want garlic breadsticks, raise your hand if you want buffalo chicken wings right now.
Right now. The cat raises his hands. So I just thought that was funny. It was hilarious to see the animals being on a TikTok video. Yeah, you love animals that do all that stuff. Now, one more little video and I'll let you get back to doing what you got to do. Kelly Clarkson has her own daytime show. I used to watch it in the morning, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that as I'm finishing up my coffee and, doing my morning chores and stuff. She's lost a lot of weight. I think she was doing the Ozempic for a while, but she has lost a lot of weight. She went from this, Little House on the Prairie look with the big puffy shoulders and stuff. And now she's lost easily 120 pounds. And now she looked good before, but now, she's more of a, what they call on-screen fit. And during her show, she either opens up her show with a singing, a ballad or something like that she does, or she has a band on to wrap up her show. And she had Weezer on this past couple weeks ago. And to listen to her sing with no effects, no nothing, this is pure raw talent. And I'm going to play this. I know I'm going to get flagged on YouTube. They'll make me take this down. But I want you guys that are listening to us on the podcast, on the iHeart, the iTunes, the Spotify's, all those, wherever you download podcasts, you're going to hear this and listen to the raw talent of Kelly Clarkson's voice. I didn't realize, I knew she was talented, but just to listen to her sing this song, it's amazing. So I'm going to play this song and wrap up the show. So here we go. I'm going to cut into the song just a little bit where she starts singing. That's the lead singer of Weezer. Chills. Chills. Jesus Christ, Kelly Clarkson. So there you go. There's Kelly Clarkson singing with Weezer on her show. And if you haven't seen the show, it's so fun. It's so fun to watch her show. She's so down there. She's so intuitive as far as, interviewing herself. She's got a great show there. Drew Barrymore, man, she's trying to be Kelly Clarkson for the most part. I don't think she's got enough talent to do the show. But nonetheless, I've never seen her show. Just the clips and stuff. I'm like going, this is gross. It's sick. Especially when she had Kamala Harris on there. It was just sick. She's just pandering to the audience. Kelly Clarkson just sits there and goes, hey, man, I like fried grits and green beans and belting my lungs out. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys for downloading us, listening to us, being part of the show. I know. Thank you for all the welcome backs and all the thumbs up and the hearts and likes and stuff. And make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And the way you do that is go over to profitradio.com. You can see the spot that says social networks. We're on the TikTok. We're on the Instagram. We're on Facebook. Make sure you follow us over there and all the other little outlets that we're part of. Don't forget YouTube. Make sure you subscribe over there. It's not a money grab or anything like that. Just another way for you to enjoy the show. All right, guys, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night. Say it ain't so.
Wait, come back. This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
My love is a deep. See you guys. Bye.